Hello and welcome. This is Kevin, also known as AWOL. And today we're working with pattern 61887 over on friendshipbracelets.net. This is pretty wild. So this is another one of those cases where I already had it braided up, ready to go, and didn't know what the original intention was. And when I pulled this thing off of the bobbin, I was taken back by the fact that it's only 6 strands, and yet somehow it has a kumi-like braid going into it. Apparently, back when I asked Mandy if this was possible, she did some research, found a tutorial where you use a kumi disc, and with only 6 strings, you can make this kind of a boxish kind of braid, and it looks really pretty cool. And the fact that this is only 6 strands makes it one of the most petite bracelets that I've ever really made. There are some like deliberate, like try to make rolls tiny, whatever, but like to have this intense of a pattern in this size of a bracelet is pretty wild. So 6 strands, when you go over the loop, you get 12 in all. So this is like my typical 12-string bracelets. It's just so much smaller, and I think that's pretty neat. It doesn't add to the difficulty, but it adds to how long it takes to make it. This was right around an hour and a half to make it. Because the knots are so much smaller, you're adding a whole lot more rows in order to get it up to like a normal bracelet size. So that was pretty cool. It does not use the string evenly, but because it's, you know, the knots are so much smaller, there's a lot of string left over at the end. But the yellow and orange seem to get used the most, and that was okay. My strings are long anyways. There was no, mess ups or anything there. So this pattern is sort of like arrowhead, but it's not. It's hard to describe like what they were trying to achieve. It sort of zooms in and out in a way that just makes it very unconventional, and had me following the pattern the entire way, just to make sure I wasn't making mistakes and doing what it said. The big thing that we did different from the original pattern was flipping it in the middle, which kind of gives it a really cool look. I think it sort of reminds me of like when they're trying to look at airflow over an airplane or something, and then they show it in the different colors, and how, where the hotter colors are showing a lot of movement, and then you got the cold colors showing little to none. It looks something like that in the end. That's my interpretation of it. It's such an interesting look. It's definitely different. I never put together anything like this before. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else I can really tell you about it. It took a lot to try to keep the edges nice and smooth, you get not doing anything special in particular, but like keeping your tension right on a smaller bracelet like this is a little bit trickier. And there was no real particular way of like segmenting it because it changes up so weird. I did what I could. Is this? So yeah, this is where it goes into the middle. I'm like, I saw the one red diamond. I'm like, that doesn't seem like it goes up far enough. It didn't. This is the middle here. So, being how I'm reminded, I'd like to thank my YouTube members for making this possible. And if you wanted to have your name added to that list, it's real easy. It's the join button down by subscribe on YouTube, and makes all the difference in the world. And why I say it's on YouTube is because you could possibly be watching my videos off of my website, akaawol.com. And then there's like kind of commentary stuff about the video and the pictures and the pattern and stuff. It's all over on my website. So in case you didn't know that, yeah, YouTube members help me keep a website going. So that's pretty cool. Because if I didn't do the website, the pattern for this bracelet would only be going in one direction. You would not have the visual thing of seeing it, you know, going both ways, other than to watch my previous video where I made it. But that's not the same as being able to work with it. So I try to make all the patterns available. Oh, and if you want the patterns early, being a member, that happens too. I dump the patterns over on the community tab of YouTube, so you can actually get to the patterns early if you're so inclined. Trying to see like how far along in the bracelet we are, trying to see how much more time I have for this, and I got a little bit. And I've run out of things to say. So yeah, I just made this today. I just finished it. I was throwing together the video to do the voiceover, and didn't expect it to finish tonight. And then it did. And I'm like, oh, okay. I could do this while it's all fresh in my memory and be able to put a video out, and it'll be awesome, you know? And everybody will rejoice. And then it's late enough in the day that my brain is just like, huh? What are you doing? So I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I made a cool bracelet, and I want people to see it. I want you guys to try it because it's really fun. And I think I'm going to get Mandy to put together a tutorial on how to do this little tiny braid thing, so that if you want to make a bracelet this size, you can, because it's kind of cute. And we can do some of the other 12-string bracelet patterns with it if we want it to be longer, because that was another part of this whole thing, was that the pattern I chose is one where it takes a little while to go through all of the same stages or whatever, and or segments, I guess. And so by having it thinner means I get to do more of those segments and kind of stretch it out a bit. Again, I think it turned out really, really cool. I really think it's pretty neato. If you try to make it yourself and you want to share that with me, it's easy. You can do that over on Discord. The link is down in the video description. There's a bunch of links down there. Instagram, Facebook, all of them. I don't use Facebook very much anymore, so if you try to send me a message via Facebook, there's a good chance I didn't see it. So, all right, we're almost the end of this now. Cool. Hey, you made it all the way through the video. Extra kudos to you. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already, maybe you could hit that like button for me. And as always, don't get your strings in a bunch.